Wiedersehen and Willkommen! I am Gary Gazzo, and this is RaceVerse coverage of Round 3 of Season 2 of 22 of the RaceVerse Formula Indy Series, coming to you from the Nürburgring for the Midwest Kidney Warriors German Grand Prix. Joining me for expert analysis in the booth, he's my partner from our Monday Night Indy Fix Top Split coverage. You can see every week here on RaceVerse from the NHR Esports team in the Lionheart IndyCar Series presented by Butt Kicker. Please welcome Stephen Larkamp. Stephen, much like me, I've been to Germany before. You've been here, but you've actually been to the Nürburgring in real life. Tell us all about it.
Yes, I have. I, in fact, was here in 2011 as a little 17-year-old for the German Grand Prix. It was a fantastic trip all around. I had a little 2-week trip through Germany before we got there, but the track itself, like, everyone loves to talk about Indianapolis, especially the people I know, and understandably so. Indianapolis is just that incredibly special place. The Nürburgring is one of them as well. This track has been around for over nearly 100 years in various guises, like Indianapolis has been. Of course, a lot of people know it for the monstrous Nordschleife, the North Loop, the run through the forest, through the hills and valleys that's claimed so many lives over the years and it's a driver's terror and dream all in one. Today, though, of course, we're racing on the Grand Prix circuit. This is the one that has been in use since the 1980s. And overall, though, coming to the Nürburgring here was a fantastic experience. I can actually point out here on the sim where I sat here. I sat in turn 1. I had a great view of everything. And overall, the setting is amazing. German race fans are phenomenal. They love this place dearly. And probably one of the coolest things of all, the day after the race, we went for a lap around the Nordschleife in our rental car, and that was a lot of fun in of itself. So 10 out of 10 would recommend if only Formula 1 raced here still. But hey, we have here tonight, and of course we have the Nürburgring 24-hour in real life.
All right, we got about 56 seconds left here in qualifying, and we'll get you the top 5 here. Mitch Welker, defending 2-race champion here, points leader at the moment. Looking to go 3 in a row is on the pole. Gavin Sanders, P2, the inaugural series champion. Nick Johnston, but he will have an EOL penalty that he'll have to face, so that P3 is really only good for a pit position or a pit slot. Hector Alvarez is P4, and Selena Ward is P5. Track IndyCars, as far as I know, and I back this up with talking with my broadcast colleague here, never have raced here, so this will be interesting. The qualifying track record here at the Nürburgring was set by Valtteri Bottas in 2020 with a pull time of 1 minute 31 seconds, 0.523 seconds. So as you see, the IndyCars aren't that far off, only about 4 seconds off. We figured it'd be a lot more.
That was the race record, though.
Race record
was set by Max Verstappen.
Yeah, race record is Max Verstappen, but again, I'm just going to compare qualifying to qualifying because we don't really track the fastest.
When I saw the qualifying record is a 125.2 set by Bottas.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah. I love how F1's records never show qualifying records, even though they are objectively faster.
Yeah, well, and that's the only record that we track. I mean, we occasionally have the fast lap award, which we did last year, but you know the fast lap doesn't matter in a point. It doesn't, actually sometimes it does, but it doesn't really matter that much here. It's not like Red Bull where they pit with 3 to go and throw on the soft tires and light tanks and tell them to go out and tear off a fast lap. You don't really see that here, especially at IndyCar racing. But they're in the warm-up period, and so that is going to give us time to go over this huge lineup here. We got 35 cars, so everybody that qualified is in, but we got a heck of a lineup. So let's go ahead and bring that up on our screen, and we'll turn it over to Stephen here to read it off.
And on the pole, 2 race wins already this season, looking to make it 3 in a row and off to the best start. Mitchell Welker in the number 76, a 135.7, the only driver in the 135s tonight. He is looking phenomenally fast. Alongside him, the 10 of Gavin Sanders, looking to make headway in this championship. He's had good races so far. Let's see if he can make it up a step further. Nick Johnston qualifies 3rd. Of course, he will have to take an EOL penalty, as we mentioned before, for a prior incident in the last race. But who would be alongside him on row 2 is the 7 of Hector Alvarez, who came very close to a race win at Imola a couple of weeks ago. Had a fantastic battle with Welker and Nate Siefker. Row 3, Selena Ward in number 41, newcomer to the series, alongside the 97 of Alex Van de Sant. Row 4 will be Christopher Hill in the 101. Very quick so far this season, looking to make up a lot of progress this time. Alongside him, the 796 of Pedro Quiñones, and I probably butchered that. I'm not the best with Spanish names. Row 5, Angel Ledesma in the 016, alongside the 75 of Jose Ramirez. And that makes up your top 10. Row 6, Caleb Bensi's number 21 will be alongside the 3 of Logan Spath. The 7th row will be Bruno Miranda's number 77 alongside the 35 of Matthew Short. 2 rookies on row 8, Jordan Erickson's number 22 and Michael DeTurk's number 40. A rough qualifying for a driver who's been very fast in the first 2 races. Row 9 will be Dakota DeMade and Jeff Groff, numbers 82 and 25, respectively. My bad, I should say. Cody Claiborne will be 17th, alongside Dakota DeMade in 18th place. Jeff Groff will be 19th, and rounding out your top 20 will be Liam Quinn's number 24. Row number 11, Rodrigo Munoz and Jose Correa, numbers 99 and 87. The 12th row, Cristobal Valenzuela and Ty Richter. 13th row will be Armando Edwards and Matt Houston. And then 14th row, Zachary Reardon and Victor Aldrich. Row 15, Joshua Tucker and Austin Delgado. The 16th row, Daniel Miglin and Zachary Flom. The 14th row, Alexander Ball and Kevin Rivera, and a lone shotgun on the field in 35th, Jeff Gross. As we're starting to wind down the warm-up here, we got a minute to go in warm-up. It'll be a 40-lap race. Of course, we will have to change tire compounds. It's not like an Indy fix where, as we saw last night at Long Beach, you could go all the way on one set of tires, and some people actually did that and won the race. But can't do that here tonight.
And one fuel stop. Real quick before we get into it here in Germany, Steven, was surprised you had half of everyone watching tonight right now have not subscribed to this channel.
Scheiße. Really?
Beep. Right there, according to YouTube Analytics, ach der Liebe seid. Yeah, 50.9% of you are not subscribers. Let's change that right now. Help us on our drive to 1,000 subscribers. If you enjoy RaceVerse coverage of the Formula Indy Series and you respect the weekly stream, please do us a solid and make sure you support us by subscribing. We have less than 115 subscribers to go to get to the magical 1,000 mark. So help us by hitting that subscribe button right now. We cannot get there without you. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell for weekly reminders so you don't miss out on future RaceVerse iRacing broadcasts. So now let's get into it in the Bundesrepublik.
Getting ready. Of course, we have a standing start as per usual in the Formula Indy Series. Something that still some of us are still trying to work their way around. Of course, IndyCars not always do this. But of course, we are at a Formula One venue. We're definitely going to be doing it the Formula One style.
And they have the field twice the size of Formula One, and so these cars are just going to populate forever and ever into the background. But right now, Mitch, we're waiting for our pole sitter, Mitch Welker, to grid up. Let's see, other than Nick Johnson, we have penalties for Drew White, who I don't think is in tonight's lineup, and Kevin Rivera, who is not in tonight's lineup, so only Nicholas Johnson will be starting from the pits. So that is fortunate for him. And actually, you know, kind of starting from the pits is kind of not a bad thing in some cases, especially when these guys all barrel into turn one. So that's it for tonight's starting lineup. The opening call of tonight's opening lap here at Germany is Stephen Larkamp.
Waiting for everyone to grid up, of course. As you mentioned, Nick Johnston not going to take the grid. Engine revs coming up. Green flag flies. We are underway in the Eifel Mountains. Welker gets away well. Gavin Sanders now under pressure from Alvarez. And look at Van de Sant trying to make the move. Already to the inside, going into turn one. Oh, this contact made. Van de Sant's around. Alex Van de Sant, and he collects another car in the process. Everyone's trying to scramble around them. Oh, and almost contact with the 9 machine. Jeff Gross almost involved in that, but almost all of them got through just fine as they make their way out of the stadium section. Sanders right up on the rear wing of Mitch Welker. Down the hill they go, through the S's.
We're watching Alex Van de Sant right now with a wounded car. Looks like Matt Houston started from the pits. Kevin Rivera is here. He did start from the pits. Dakota the Maid also looks like he started from the pits. So a couple of these guys did start from the pits, and they're picking up positions here as we are having offs. Looks like we had Selena Ward. Looked like they had a problem. They are back underway. So that's one of the top 5 starters with an issue. So all over the place. Side-by-side battle with Pedro Quinones and Cristobal Valenzuela. And Pedro Quinones has a missing front wing, so he's going to have to make a stop here to get that fixed.
So easy to make contact, especially in the slow sections here at the Nürburgring. That hairpin especially can be treacherous on the opening lap. But coming to the end of the opening lap, it is Mitch Welker leading over Gavin Sanders. And up into 3rd place, Hector Alvarez holds on to that position still and trying to get things squared away. Christopher Hill, one of the big movers on the opening lap, from 7th up to 4th place on the first lap. It's a big gap behind him, though. Caleb Bensi now up to P5, 6 positions gained in 1 lap for the RaceVerse driver.
Watching some battles here in the mid-pack. We got Quinones and Van de Sant all both in pit road right there. They're going to get some repairs done. Let's get back up to the front. And Mitch Welker, our winner of the last 2 races, looking to go 3 for 3 to start the season. He is our points leader. We will look at the points here momentarily. He is leading the inaugural series champion here. And season 1, Gavin Sanders in the opening laps.
Indeed so, and both these drivers starting on the soft compound tire. They're both starting on the reds. Looking behind them as they head up through the Michael Schumacher S's. And behind them, Hector Alvarez is the first driver on the hard compound, and Christopher Hill behind him is on reds, as Sanders and Welker were. So it'll be interesting to see tire strategies play out here as Angel Ledesma now under pressure. I think Ledesma's got a broken front wing side by side there with Jordan Erickson.
Yes, it does. And worth a shout out here, right? Leading that group is Jose Carrera. Jose's up 16 spots already.
Phenomenal start for Jose Correa, but Erickson now to the inside as they head through the fast version of the NGK chicane here. And now through the final corner, Ledesma not pitting though. And this is going to be, could perhaps be a bit of a rolling roadblock for some of the guys behind them. Bruno Miranda and Matthew Short, Michael DeTurk, they're going to be held up by this. They're going to want to get by that 016 as soon as they possibly can.
So
and Cody Claiborne looking to the inside.
That's right, in the fish car. You are the driver expert. Is he getting a meatball flag right now? Is he actually getting some type of warning in the car on a road course when you're down a wing?
From what I'm looking at right now, no. And I don't think the damage is considered substantial enough within the damage model for them to warrant it. At least with only half of the front wing gone, and I'm not seeing a meatball flag pop up on iRacing system here, so they're not calling Ledesma into the pits for this. So these guys, I'm guessing Ledesma is unaware of the extent of the damage. Either that or they're just going to try as Bruno nearly gets into the back of them coming through the hairpin. But like I said, Ledesma runs wide there. Open up the door for Miranda. Miranda's going to look to the inside into the S's.
Yeah, he is going to get that position.
Well done, Bruno Miranda. I'm guessing right now Ledesma's probably thinking something's not quite right with my machine here.
So there is, I will say this, as a racer that's primarily an oval expert, but even when I do race road courses, I am in VR. One of the nice things about VR is that if you do have damage on the front wing, you can kind of sit up and look and see. If you're not in VR, when you're on monitor, which a lot of people are, majority of the racers are on monitor, as a matter of fact,
myself included.
Yeah, and you cannot necessarily see that. So unless he has another spotter, which he probably doesn't, because I would imagine the spotter would have yelled that out, he might be totally unaware of missing a front wing until he makes that first stop and he sees that he has a 5-second additional penalty for, not penalty, but just a 5-second repair that he gets held for.
Yeah, and my guess there is he may well be aware of the damage, but he's not quite in the pit stop window, and as soon as that window opens, he's going to want to bring that car in. The logic behind it being, of course, with the limited, frankly limited expectation of a safety car coming out here on the road course events, it's going to be unlikely for any sort of pit stop now to be worth it position-wise later on. The going is, Matthew Short sticks it to the inside there. Short realizes that Ledesma is nursing a wounded car.
Yeah, we have everybody joining this battle now. We have Liam Quinn now joining the battle, and so he's going to be looking for an inside on Cody Claiborne in the finish car, and he is not going to be able to quite pull that pass off. And joining the battle here is Daniel
Germany's
Miglin.
known for its good high-speed trains, but this is not exactly what we were thinking about.
Right, Matthew Short getting the position now, and the Turk in the plain white wrapper might follow him through. Tried, couldn't do that. Short is around and starts to pull away. The Turk just kind of sent it in there. He kind of got impatient, and now we got a side-by-side battle still with Claiborne and Liam Quinn.
Yeah, and I'm certain at this point Ledesma knows the situation, and he just wants to make himself as much of an obstacle as possible to not lose track position. And once that pit window opens, that is when he's going to bring it in. It doesn't matter if he's running on the hards. He knows that he needs a front wing change, but he doesn't want an extra pit stop to go with
locks it up there. Cody gives him a little nudge.
Claiborne sent into the runoff area there. Contact. Not too sure who that was, but he gathers it up and the fish car keeps going.
Cody gave a little nudge there to Ledesma with the damaged car, so Cody might have a little bent up front wing too, but that caused Cody to give up spots to Miglin, Spath, Armando Edwards. Good to see Armando back. He has the best name in all of the lineup here. I love it. He's been a long-time FIS participant. He's got a long way to go. Normally he's up at the front, but that just kind of tells you about the level of talent that we have right now in the Formula Indy Series. And as you see on the track map that we have on your screen, just the bunch of cars from Carrera on back, 87 on back is they're all pretty tight together. The top 5 have pretty much got up and run away.
Indeed, Mitch Welker has about a 2.5 second lead over Gavin Sanders at this point, working lap number 6 as our race leader. Alvarez about 2.5 seconds behind Sanders, and Hill 2 seconds behind him. Bensi around 10 seconds in arrears of the race leaders, but this pack here from P6 on back, this is looking to be pretty tight stuff. Correa, Ericsson, and Miranda especially.
And we got a car around. Logan Spath is around. And they all queued up behind him, and they got more cars just piling in the back of them there.
And Logan Spath did get things going again, but that was contact with the 74 of Armando Edwards.
We got
and a few other cars.
Austin Delgado in the Napa car there, and Victor Aldrich, I think, was the other car involved. Yeah, there's Victor Aldrich.
And therein lies the treacherous part of the track here. Turn 1 is the best place to make a pass here, but of course it's really easy to make a mistake, and as tight as it is, there's no margin for error when you're making a pass there.
And Victor Aldrich car is a little squirrely right now, might be damage on it, might need to get that into the pits to take a look at it. But up to the front again. As Mitch Welker continues to pull away. Of course, Mitch going to be pretty fresh for tonight's race. Made it about 4 turns into the top split last night before retiring. Hey, it happens to the best of us.
Oh, it does. But I'm sure, like, looking at his performance so far, starting lap number 7, Welker is looking to make up for that and more so. That 3 in a row is looking like a strong possibility, of course, but Sanders is going to be keeping an eye on that, and we'll see what strategies they can pull. Of course, these two starting on reds, and the odd man out, of course, is Hector Alvarez, who is about 5.5 seconds behind race leader, and he is the leader of the drivers on the hard tires. And right now, Alvarez's last lap was a 38.6, Welker was a 38.1, and Sanders was a 38.7. So we're getting closer and closer and closer to the crossover point where the hard compound tire is going to be quicker, and we're going to see the strategies really come into play in the next few laps.
About when do you think we'll start seeing the first of the pit stops?
Well, I wish I could tell you fuel mileage numbers here at the Nürburgring. Unfortunately, I've never done this combo before, remarkably enough. But I would imagine, but from tracks of a similar length, because 3.1 miles, 5.1 kilometers in length, the Nürburgring is just a bit shorter than Watkins Glen, and I would imagine that they would be able to run fairly similar fuel mileage numbers. So my uneducated guess, educated guess, I'll say, probably be about just past lap 15, maybe lap 17 or so.
So it's pretty impossible to go 2020.
Yeah, I highly doubt that, especially with the nature of the circuit, the sort of stop-start nature. I think it's a little bit harder on fuel mileage than some people would expect. As the gap still for Welker is opened up more so. Welker a 38.2 to Sanders' 39.0, and the gap is 3.8 seconds.
Cody Claiborne into
now,
the
Alvarez
pits.
is starting to close up on Sanders.
Cody Claiborne into the pits, like to get his car looked at from any contact he might have had. Nick Johnston starting from the pits. He is now up to 30th. Everybody's still running, I do believe. Logan Spath did an extended stay on pit road. He is back underway. Victor Aldrich still underway as well. 34 cars look like we took the green flag today. Oh, Austin Delgado there. Trying to bring that Rossi luck with him here to in that livery to Nürburgring here, and it's just not paying off for him, and he's got the leader right behind him.
Hopefully it's not the Rossi luck for the last 3 years until this past weekend. But we are getting closer to lap cars coming into the picture, and that's really showing how fast the leaders are. The top 4, Welker, Sanders, Alvarez, and Hill, are within 10 seconds of each other, but on back, 6th place is 22 seconds behind the race leader, and a lot of them, especially 17th down to the back of the top 30, they are over 40 seconds in arrears after 9 laps. That's showing how fast Mitch Welker is running here tonight.
We got the Bruno Miranda fan club in chat. Welcome, guys. Welcome, everybody in chat. Feel free to shout out your favorite driver. We will put them on camera for you. And since we... Go ahead.
Okay. I will say, Miranda's fan club has some things to cheer about. Their boy started 13th, currently running P6 at the moment, and turning some very solid laps, starting to get himself a bit of a gap now over Jordan Erickson in P7, who's also had a fantastic start, and running fairly close lap times with Caleb Bensi in front of him. He's not exactly gaining ground, but Miranda is off to a fantastic start.
Yeah, there is P6 as he is hitting turn 11 right now. Again, Bruno's one of those drivers that always seems to have something amiss early in the run.
Gavin Sanders in.
Gavin Sanders in early. Interesting. So
number 10 for Gavin Sanders coming in. So my guess here is that he'll be changing on to the hard compound. We'll see what he does. So this is guaranteed to be a 2-stopper at the very least. Down and away, he has gone on to the hards.
Yeah, so, and this just explained the glitch with IndyCars and iRacing. Timing and scoring says he is on the primary tire, regardless of what you see on his car right now. That's a red sidewall tire that shows he has the alternates, but official timing and scoring shows him with the primes. He is on the primary tire.
Indeed, and it really needs to, like, I personally really think that iRacing needs to get on that glitch, because otherwise it'd be just a case of your source being trust us, bro.
Yeah.
But Ty Richter on the radio didn't sound very happy about, looked like there was contact almost with another car. I think that was the 33 of Valenzuela, who he got a little bit of a kerfuffle with in turn 1.
Currently watching that battle right now. This is for 23rd position. As someone that was racing one of those backfire cars last night, doesn't matter where they are in the lineup, they fight you every inch of the way.
Yeah, and hopefully, if I may make a lame pun here, hopefully that idea doesn't backfire on them. I'm terrible.
Yeah. There's just certain, in my book, there's just certain positions worth fighting for. And if you're in the top, 10, let's fight for it. If you're in the top 15, probably let's fight for it. If you're in the top 20, it all depends on what's going on. But if I'm outside the top 20, it does me no good. Oh, he tried to almost send it in there on, that is Austin Delgado there in the Rossi Napa livery. But anything outside of the top, in the top 25 or so, you're in the mid-pack, they're really deep in the mid-pack, fighting is not going to really help you any at all. If someone's faster than you, just let them go.
Exactly, and plus you're probably costing yourself time when you don't even realize it.
Right, Ty Richter almost gets the pass there in a very wide turn 1. So at this point, Delgado probably should just pull over and let these guys go. Ty almost gets into the back of Delgado.
Watching this,
something happened to Ty Richter, I think, spun out as a result of that. So he loses positions. Now it's Matt Houston's turn to get around Delgado.
Yeah, and I think it was actually a self-spin. He got himself up on the curb, and I think he got his foot down a bit too tricky there, and just looped it around coming out of the stadium section.
And loaded the car.
Yep.
Well, the boss man, starting from the pits, moved himself up to 24th. Interesting enough, a lot of the guys that started from the pits and other type of races where we had here on RaceVerse and the Formula Indy Series, starting from the pits. Normally, the driver that starts from the pits manages to do pretty well just because they avoid all the carnage. But I think the size of this track and the way that everything is stretched out so quickly, because we only had side-by-side racing really for about a lap, and then after that it went single file. A lot of those, and there's Angel Liedsma still with the broken one-wing Angel there that he's getting passed by Jeff Groff there, and he has Zachary Reardon on his 6 at the moment. But a lot of the people that start from the pits, their progression is not very good on this particular race because they're still stuck at the back.
I know there's a Final Fantasy VII joke I can make with the one-winged Angel bit, but Ledesma's still hanging on to that car. I'm genuinely surprised he has not come on to pit road yet. I saw Reardon lock up big time behind him, and that's Jeff Groff right in the middle, and both these guys are going to be looking for any way to get by him. There's no doubt about it. Ledesma is nursing that wounded car, but I'm shocked that he hasn't come on to pit road yet. I would have, as soon as the pit road opened and the pit window opened, I would have come on pretty much immediately, as
Yeah, his best lap is a 141. He's turning consistent 142s with everyone turning 140s around him. So he is.
And Welker's on pit road.
And Welker's on pit road. Let's take a look there with our leader.
Going hard compound once more is the number 76, same as
He's
Sanders.
coming off pit road right in front of Liam Quinn and the team talent.
And this is actually a pretty, I think he may have extended his gap right now over Gavin Sanders. Sanders is right behind this little pack of Quinn, Correa, Ericsson, and DeTurk. So once these guys all come in, I think Welker is going to find himself with a bigger gap over Sanders than he was before. But right now, the lead goes to Hector Alvarez. Put in a spectacular performance last time out at Imola. Was a contender for a win pretty much the whole night. Just came up a little bit short, but still looking very, very strong. Alvarez has cemented himself to be a force to be reckoned with, this rookie has. Same with Welker as well.
5 seconds for a wing repair. Is he losing less than 5 seconds? He's lost a ton of time. He probably should have hit pit road a long time ago to get the wing fixed.
Yeah, as I said before, as soon as the pit window opened, and that's basically when Sanders came in on lap 10. I mean, once I heard that Sanders came in, I would have come in pretty much immediately after. Get my front wing changed and make up a lot of time.
The pit delta, well, I can tell you that Welker was on pit road for 31.9 seconds, in the box for 8.2. Gavin Sanders, 31 seconds on pit road, in the box for 7.4. Interesting, though. Sanders was on pit road a second faster. So it should be a second less. We'll see how this shakes out. Bensi was on pit road when Bensi stopped 32.5 in the box for 8.6.
And Bensi running PL and running, just going down the order a little bit here. Of course, we're in the middle of the cycle. So Alvarez, Hill, and Miranda, your top three have yet to stop. Welker in P4, he is the first of the drivers who has made a pit stop so far.
Let's do the Schumacher S's.
Ooh, is Alvarez
using
up every little bit of the track and then some there.
He would argue that's what it's there for.
Yeah. Hey, they gave me a whole racetrack. I'm going to use the whole racetrack.
If you go on YouTube and if you do any of these tutorials of IndyCar racing for iRacing, actually Adam Blocker has one out there. If anyone watches like the open top split on Monday right before we have the fixed series here, and also in the Lionheart series, very established driver in both of those. That's exactly what he says. He used the whole road to your advantage. Use the entire road to your advantage. So if it's there, use it. That's what it's there for.
Yep, and that's what everybody does, of course. If the track's wide enough, you use whatever you can. And looking at the first laps out of the pits for Bruno and for Mitch Welker, a 137.9 on hard compound tires. Meanwhile, Sanders is at a 140.5, but I think he had traffic to deal with. He's got by Ericsson and DeTurk up to P6.
Okay, we got Quinn and Edwards on pit road. And I believe Angel Ledesma is on pit road now. So we will watch him as he will get that wing fixed.
And sad to report that Logan Spath and Zachary Reardon have both disconnected. They are done for the night, sad to say.
There's new wing fixed for Ledesma. He was on pit road here. We'll give you that report, but he was in the box for 9.6 seconds on pit road for 33.4. Overall, not too bad. And he is back, repaired, underway. And you're right, Cody Claiborne showing in 34th. He's out. Jeff Gross shown in 33rd. He is out. Logan Spath shown in 32nd. He is out. Victor Aldrich is still working on the track here. In fact, he will make up here a couple of spots the next time he hits the front straight, which he is doing, I believe, right here. He will move up from 31st to 29th, passing Miglin and Reardon, who are retired on pit road. So all the cars running on the racetrack right now are currently 29th and on up. Everyone is still running.
And right now, 27 of them are on the lead lap. The last one on the lead lap, in fact, is Nick Johnston. And in fact, though that may not be the case for long, he's gotten himself into a battle with Selena Ward and Ty Richter for 25th.
And it looks like Alexander Ball is also running the Rossi paint scheme as well. So let's try not to. We got two of them out there. We are watching a battle here now for Richter, Johnston, and Ward here for 23rd.
Johnston sends it to the inside of Ty Richter into the final corner. Not quite enough to get by him, though. He'll have a run down into turn 1. But move himself up a couple of spots there. Goes Nick Johnston to the inside, and he will get it done. The In-N-Out Burger car gets it done into turn 1.
Always like going out to In-N-Out Burger when I'm on the West Coast.
Yeah. If only I had the chance to go out there when I was in California when I was a kid, but I mean, that was just on vacation, and I had no idea what In-N-Out Burger was.
They have the world's easiest menu. Hamburger, cheeseburger, double cheeseburger, and that's really about it. And fries, and then you can get a drink or a shake. I mean, it's like supposedly they have a pretty decent hidden menu. Yeah, if you've never been to In-N-Out Burger, that's pretty much a institution on the West Coast. So now we're watching a battle for 24th here between Ty Richter and Selena Ward. Mitch Welker is up to 4th now as we've gone through pit stops. Hector Alvarez still your leader, over 8 seconds over Christopher Hill.
Ooh, Ward gets a little loose there coming onto the back straightaway. Cost the run there as they head up towards the chicane. But keeping an eye on Hector Alvarez in particular, we're working lap 17. We'll see if he comes in.
Yeah, imagine he's going to come in this lap. Yeah.
Well, we'll see if my hunch was correct or not about fuel mileage. I probably should have done some calculations beforehand.
There he is.
Now
there he is.
Hector Alvarez comes in.
There he is. Yep.
So I was right on the money. Ha ha ha. Looking behind him, Christopher Hill is staying out for another lap and Hill has not come in yet, and he is running on reds.
No, he has not come in, and they were watching him there from pit road.
Bruno Miranda's in as well. So this moves Mitch Welker back up into P2 for the time being, but Christopher Hill is staying out for at least one more lap on lap 18. And on soft compound tires, we actually saw him lock up a little bit in that left-hander in the stadium section. So I think those tires they're definitely not driving the way they were at the start of the race.
They're probably a set of tire dogs on that one right now. So
that is definitely an interesting strategy call right now from the 101 crew.
And for the Bruno fan club, P7 for Bruno. He is just pitted. So he rejoins in P7 right behind Caleb Bensi. And you'll see him there on the ticker, 43 seconds. And to his next position, he's 9 seconds to Bensi. So we will watch.
And from the looks of it, Alvarez has stayed on blacks on this one. He stayed on the hard compound, so he's definitely going to come in for one more stop. There's no doubt about that. So there's lots of... Oh, Alvarez is around! Alvarez spins at the top of the Schumacher S as Sanders dives and knocks over a lot of cones to get around him. But Hector Alvarez gets it going again, but that was scary for Alvarez. That could have been race over.
All right, we got a second to look back at that here real quick, and we'll check the evasive moves here of Gavin Sanders. Here we go. And
So Alvarez, I think, just hit the curb with the right rear the wrong way, and it sends him around.
Oh, we're going to look from Gavin Sanders' point of view here. Yeah, I would imagine that's a bit of a code brown moment to clear. He doesn't see that, really. He's going to see part of it. So here's let's go back a little bit further.
But Sanders, great evasive driving there. It's just a shame those cones were 2 days from retirement. But, wow.
Oh!
Well done by
good car
Sanders
control
to
for
avoid
Sanders, man. I mean, he could have easily lost it there on the grass. And,
very easily.
And I wonder if possible is I don't think there's any damage on the nose that we see, but those cones can damage the carbon fiber nose wing elements of the noses. So let's see if he's okay. Christopher Hill, he is still on the racetrack.
And I think what he's going for, I think he's been going for a fuel mileage game this whole time. The way this can work is if he's able to do one more lap. We may even see
the Casey Kerwin strategy.
We might see two in a row for off-the-wall pit strategies.
No, he bypasses pit road one more time. He bypasses pit road one more time, and he is going to go. He's going to have this race in half. He is going to one stop this thing.
Wow! And if this works, what a win this would be for Christopher Hill. Of course, he'll be going on the hard compound tire when he comes onto pit road. But wow, I found it amazing he was able to go this far on reds. I was kind of, maybe in the back of my mind, maybe someone would try to go for it. Man, fuel strategies in the last couple of races, last couple of nights this week have been rather off the wall. But if the one we had last night at Long Beach with a no-stopper worked, I'm curious to see how well this goes.
You got to look at who the drivers are and how they're paying attention to the details. Casey Kerwin, professional driver. Long Beach is his course. Probably has hundreds of laps there. Knows what in every car, knows what the car does there. Knows how to do that. Probably even experimented with a no-stop in testing a number of times and found out he pulled it off and was able to do it in the race for real. Here you see Christopher Hill, professional instructor in racing, professional racing car instructor, does this for real, knows what he's doing, and he probably thought that he did some testing here and thought it was possible that if you save on just a couple of laps, you could do this as a one-stopper. So we shall see. He is coming to pit road right now, and that is the stop. This is going to take him home right here at Nürburgring.
It's pretty obvious he's able to make it work fuel mileage-wise if he keeps this up. The big question mark for me now, with Mitch Welker now cycling to the lead, how much time can Welker make up going full
Welker.
Rich?
And
Let's
Welker is going to bypass him right there. So Christopher Hill in his spots. Another important thing about pit road, not any penalties right here. This is your only visit to pit road. Can't afford any penalties.
No doubt about that. Hill down and away.
And he had an 11-second stop, so that tank was dry.
Wow. And of course, the glitch showing once more. Hill is on the hard compound, despite what the visual indication suggests. My source, trust me, bro. But no, seriously, I have it on the entries list right here. So Christopher Hill is banking on this strategy being what gets him to the end of this race on one less stop, saving likely an extra 30 seconds over.
The Turk is also doing the one stop too, by the way. He just pitted on his one stop, and he is. So I think he did a one stop as well.
So Michael DeTurk looking to make it another one stop as well. We saw mobile people do the no stopper at Long Beach, so I think DeTurk maybe caught on that as well as Hill, that you could probably pull this off. the question I have now with Hill and Deturk is pace. Because, of course, you're going to have to save fuel. You can't go full rich like Welker, Sanders, and Alvarez can. So it's going to be interesting to see what sort of pace Hill can get out of the car.
We have a penalty for Matt Houston, looks like on pit road. He actually I think he just pitted just before. He almost did 20 laps, but he might have sped coming off of pit road. So he is doing his second visit to pit road, I believe, here. And unfortunately, looks like he had a bit of a hold there. So a number of drivers tried the under here, or tried the half it.
Certainly seems that way, and again, the question mark I have is pace, so we'll see what sort of stuff Welker can pull out, because this puts the ball firmly in Welker, Sanders, and Alvarez's court here.
Gotta go. If you're just joining us, this is RaceVerse coverage of the Formula Indy Series, coming to you from the Nürburgring, where we've completed 22 of a scheduled 40 laps. If you're enjoying RaceVerse coverage tonight's race and would like to monetarily support our commentary team, make sure you donate via our GoFundMe link in the description for your convenience. And so you lose track of any action, you can donate right now and listen to our call of the race. All you have to do is right-click on the link in the description, go to our GoFundMe page in another tab, and make your donation. While you're done submitting your donation, just close the tab and you'll be right back with us. It's just that easy. I want to thank you very much for your time and attention here at the Formula Indy Series, the RaceVerse Formula Indy Series, coming to you from Nürburgring.
And Mitch Welker really up on the curbs there. You can tell he's got his foot down hard on this one. A 138.4 was his the last time by, as Gavin Sanders comes to the line, and he has a 38.7.
That was Alex Van de Sant going down a lap. That's something you don't see every day.
Definitely not. Van de Sant, of course, was spun around on lap 1 trying to make a pass for third place. But looking at Christopher Hill's lap times, he did a 139.1 on that last lap. Pace is still certainly respectable, and Welker really has to get his foot down now.
Hill going around Victor Aldrich there. Delgado, I think that's Delgado in front of him. Got a little squirrely on corner exit of corner number 3 there, corner number 4, excuse me.
And Hill wants to get Delgado out of the way. Delgado lets him go. Well done to him. But looking at gaps right now, the gap right now between Welker and Hill, 21 seconds. So Hill has got to keep the pace up while saving fuel. No doubt about that. Because we're estimating about 31 seconds is the pit stop delta. So these guys, and so Welker's got to go for it if he wants to win it. Hill's got to keep his foot in it somewhat while saving fuel if he wants to win it.
Tonight's race was sponsored by Midwest Kidney Warriors. Midwest Kidney Warriors is a 501c nonprofit organization that advocates life for those battling kidney disease. They have several kidney warriors needing a life-saving transplant and many who require a living donor. Please visit their website at MidwestKidneyWarriors.com or visit their group page on Facebook today for more information.
Again, looking at lap times, Welker with a 38.5, Hill with a 39.2. The gap stretching out a little bit, but it's still to the point that I think that Hill is in with a shot at this. And a big question mark after Welker and Sanders and Alvarez come in for their stops. They're definitely all going to go to reds. So the question I have is, what sort of pace can Hill maintain while defending against a hard-charging Mitch Welker if he does indeed jump him?
Now, Christopher Hill's had himself a nice week in the last week, starting last Thursday with the victory in the Stock Carnival de Brazil that we show here, the Brazilian Stock Car Series on Thursday nights, and then he followed that up with the podium and the IIS race and on Friday at the Brickyard. So he is looking at the very least, I would say he's in the very least in a position right now for a podium, if not the win. We shall see. But he is looking at a very nice week of racing here on RaceVerse. As he is looks like he might have the strategy.
It certainly seems that way. It cuts a lot of time off your pit stops. And if Hill can keep up the pace and keep within, I'd imagine within 30 seconds of Welker, by the time Welker comes on the pit road, he has a chance of jumping him. And then after that, he's going to have to play major defense to hold off Welker in the final laps of this race.
Yeah, Welker needs to pull away about another 20 seconds or so. Caleb Binsey on pit road. Alex Sanasan on pit road again. So Binsey, is this a scheduled stop? Must be a scheduled stop.
Any penalty flags. So I'm guessing he's getting himself off of his. He's actually on hards.
Yeah. And he is now on. Now that the color's changed again on his car, we are showing him on the primes. So this is to get him home apparently. So he wanted to. I believe he was in on the alternates. And he wanted to make that as quick of a stint as possible. And now he drops to P10, but everybody in front of him still conceivably still has to make a stop.
Yeah, it seems so, especially our top three right now. They all need to pit again. Of course, Hill and DeTurk are the ones that we know of that are going for a one-stop strategy, saving fuel quite a bit.
That is Jeff Gross. That's just in the orange livery, the Formula One orange livery, right behind your leader there, Mitch Welker.
And Gross already 9 laps down. He had some issues earlier on in the night. Sad to see that.
Yeah, Doug Smith is like nail biter. Yeah, it's looking that way. I love. I don't have a big, huge love for road racing like some folks think I should have. I'm more of an oval racer, but I really love road racing when two things happen. I love rain races, and we don't have those yet. And I love it when someone makes a huge gamble in order to get that victory and might see it pull off in this case. And I would say right now it's a bit of a slaying of the giant because Welker, well, frankly, has been untouched all season long here in the preseason. He won our preseason race that we covered here. That's on Twitch. And he's 2 for 2 in the regular season, trying to go 3 for 3. But if the way he's dominating here, if someone can undercut him on a one-stopper and get the win, I would say that even regardless of Christopher Hill's ability, which we know he's a great racer, I'm going to say it's a bit of an upset.
I would agree completely. This would be an upset if ever there was one. Welker, as you said, pretty much untouched. He won, of course, at Le Mans just by being very consistent with himself. He won at Imola after he got punted mid-race.
No kidding, yeah.
Yeah, so that's just showing you how strong Welker is. And if this strategy works and it undercuts him, this is going to be an interesting way of slaying of David fighting the Goliath in this one, even if Welker is a rookie.
Yeah, in the words of Jimmy Bonbritton, he got the old Punta-Reno on the race that we had at Imola and came back from that by Nate Seifert. Nate Seifert not in the lineup. He said that he was going to be on vacation this week, so that's why we don't have him here this week in the Midwest Kidney Warriors sponsored the Lara. But he got the punt from him, and I don't think he got a penalty for that, noticing in our penalty report that was sent to us. So that was just a racing incident, and Welker drove back all the way. I mean, there was no pit stop involved and everything. He did it all on the racetrack, made up all that time, and ended up winning the race. So the Punta-Reno and win, the first time we've had that happen here in the Formula Indy Series. Oh yeah.
And it's not often you see spin-in wins, but we saw it last week at the Hungarian Grand Prix with Max Verstappen. But you also had a launch and win with Marcus Ericsson at Nashville last year in the IndyCar Series. Now we have a punt and win, which I'm sure has happened in a few places before, most likely in stock car racing, but you don't typically see it in open wheelers. And again, it just goes to show how good Welker has been so far this season. And he's against really good competition too. These guys have really learned the trade of IndyCar racing very, very well, but Welker has been on another level performance-wise, and Hill looking to fight smarter rather than harder.
Let's take a look down to the remainder of the top 10. Here's Hector Alvarez, who's been in the top 3 all day long. That's where he was last week. That's where he's been today, very consistently. We'll look at the points here after we run through the top 10 as well.
So Sanders came onto pit road, by the way. He changed onto a fresh set of reds.
And he rejoins in 5th.
And that shows just how stretched out things have gotten right now. Sanders still in P5, 41 seconds in arrears of Mitch Welker.
And that's his RaceVerse teammate, the boss man, Matt Houston, letting them on by. So that allows Gavin not to waste a lot of time. Christopher Hill is in P3. This is the driver of the hour that we've been talking about right now, trying to attempt this on a one-stopper. His last lap was a 1:39.5. Mitch Welker's last lap, a 1:38.5. So he still doesn't have the necessary delta, I think, to beat, but he's getting close. Hill's 25 seconds in the rears right now, and I think he needs about another 6 more seconds gap in order to probably pop out in front of Hill. Another thing that's really going to be to Hill's detriment, if it is going to be a close battle with Welker, is Hill is on a set of, let's see, what is he on? He is on the primes. They're going to be well-worn primes, so he is going to be kind of at a disadvantage, even though he will have possibly the advantage of track position. Bruno Miranda, the Bruno Miranda fan club, Bruno the Storm, there he is, P4. As he's turning on to the home straight here. Right behind him, Alex Vanasant, who has not been a factor today outside of the start, unfortunately. Gavin Sanders, we've had the camera on him. There's a good shot of his Dallara as he is scooting on to the home stretch right here. Not too far behind Bruno, as a matter of fact.
And Jordan Erickson in P6 is coming onto pit road now for his last stop. Good
run for him to get up in the top 10. But he is coming on to pit lane. He is in the Verizon Penske livery with his sponsors on it. I like that. I like it when someone takes an existing livery and puts their own sponsors on it. It looks pretty good. So he is on pit road, giving up his top 10 position. Liam Quinn is now in 6th, Team Talent.
Oh, Liam Quinn, just as you say, a big lockup for him.
Yes, he did, yes.
Into the stadium.
Yeah, and he is on, he's on the prime tires too, so he can't afford to really leave a lot of rubber down on the ground. He needs to keep that on the tire. Right behind him is Jose Correa.
Welker's in.
Welker's in? Okay, let's get the camera on Welker.
Mitch Welker in for his final stop. It'll be 11 laps to go, and no doubt about it, if he doesn't take reds, I'm going to be genuinely surprised.
We'll watch.
Alvarez goes by to the lead.
There goes Alvarez.
And here comes Christopher Hill off the final corner. Welker just gets to his box now.
Trying to get a better angle so we can see that pass when Christopher Hill makes that pass.
Hill goes zooming by him now.
And Welker is underway, and he is going to have 2 cars in front of him. Oh, Alex Vanasant almost in the back of Bruno Miranda. But Welker is going to have to get around Alex. I think Alex probably will let him by. I don't see Bruno allowing Welker on by. Bruno still has to make his final stop, I believe. So
I definitely don't see him letting by either.
Jose Correa, we were just talking about him. He is up 16 spots. He's locking up that tire into turn 1. Woo. So he's had an incredible launch. He did it all pretty much in the first lap. Caleb Binsey, P7, tracking down Correa right there. Michael DeTurk, I believe he is the other car on the same strategy as Christopher Hill. So he is worked his way up to 8th, and he might make up some spots because everybody in front of him, with the exception of Bensi, Sanders, and Welker, all have to stop, with the exception of maybe even Hill. So that is the Turk. He is P8. Rodrigo Munoz, he's in one of the backfire cars. He is in P9. And somehow, and I'm not quite sure how, but Angel Lidsma is in P10, and that is from losing a front wing for the entire first stint of this race.
Amazing comeback for Ledesma. Ledesma had good pace, qualified in 9th. So this is saying to me that once that wing got changed, I think it's saying to me they should have gotten that wing changed sooner. Maybe even further up the field. But the gap between Hill and Welker as Hector Alvarez takes over the lead is about 3 seconds. About 3 seconds.
Yeah, about 3 seconds, yeah. And it's rapidly going down. 10 to go.
I would not be surprised if this is the fastest lap of the race for Mitch Welker that we're looking at right now.
I mean, he just did a 1:37.2. We could actually bring that stat in. It's going to be a little cut off, though, but we'll try the track map here real quick. And we'll bring out the full stat standings. And there is, some of it's cut off, but your purple lap is actually Nick Johnston with a 1:37.1. But
wow.
I imagine Welker is probably going to go green this lap for his fastest lap of the race. A lot of people are going green at the moment, but that is your fastest lap at the moment. And there he is. It's a visual sight here.
Yep. You don't need me to tell you the gap. You can see it.
Yeah, I don't think. I don't know. I could be wrong. He might have something left in the tank, and he could do something here. I just don't see him holding this off unless he gets really defensive here, or he's like, okay, I'm going to turn up the wick, and he ends up somehow to be able to defend. I just seem like right now these tires. Look at that braking. He just makes up all that.
36.4 for Mitch Welker.
Yeah.
Fastest lap of the race by a country mile.
Yeah, and that was 2 seconds faster than Hill's lap that time, or 3 seconds faster than Hill's lap that time. And so he's on Hill. So now if you're in Welker's position, I mean, you really don't have to push too hard. You have no one behind you, and you know you're faster. Just pick your spot, right?
Pretty much at this point, with Welker having all the grip in the world by comparison and no need to tone down on the fuel, he can just pick his fights with this one. As he has a look, does he have a peek to the inside? Not quite yet there at the hairpin. Back up to the Schumacher S's. Next good place to pass would be the left-hander coming up at the top of the hill. Not quite enough there either. But Welker looking to get a run down the back straightaway now. The chicane here is a bit hard to pass in as, Hill playing a little bit defensive perhaps, or is he? Yes, he is playing defensive there. He holds on to the spot. It was a bit wide there.
Yeah, he did.
Close to the sausage curb.
He did. He hit us. He nailed it, actually. We were just riding on board that one. And now Mitch Welker trying to get the draft. A little bit of a snake down the front straight, side by side. Doesn't quite still have the position yet.
Hill's going to have the inside for the hairpin.
They touch. They touch.
They did touch. Welker not happy about that, no doubt.
I don't understand. I mean, I can understand being not happy, but you're obviously faster than the guy. Welker has 6 push to passes left. Use one. You're faster than him. Use one. Oh, he gets in the back of him.
Around.
And day is done for Christopher Hill. All that work. Done.
Hill trying to recover, but that is right rear suspension damage I am seeing on that 101 machine.
Done. I am crushed for him. I am absolutely crushed for him. Mitch Walker.
I just hit the floor right now,
Mitch
folks.
Walker is your leader. And we don't know if he has any damage potentially. Doesn't look like it.
I'm not seeing anything visual right now. I think he got away with it. But the same cannot be said for Christopher Hill. As he's just limping along at slow pace right now, trying to get back to pit road.
We you know, maybe I did jinx him when he said he had quite the week. But I am crushed for the man. He was at least on his way probably to for sure a top 5 finish on a great strategy. And
no doubt
unfortunately,
about that.
I don't know if Welker really anticipated him backing up that corner so much, and he just got into the back of him. But I think there were other places that Welker could have got that pass done at, and a little bit more cleanly. He had all his pushes to passes still to go, or mini push to passes still to go. He had plenty of time with 7 laps remaining, and the fact that he just turned the purple lap, that he could have pulled that off at another spot another time, unfortunately.
Yeah, that was just... I'm not too sure what happened in that instance. I definitely don't see Mitch as being vindictive like that.
No.
That was just...
I mean, he's a way better driver. Yeah, he's a way better driver than me. It just mistakes happen, and I'm wondering if the stewards will look at that possibly as maybe a point of contention for the next race when we go to Spa. He might have to start from the rear, or maybe he just gets a penalty point, incident point added to his record, which they do here. What they do is they have different levels of penalty. You get 1 penalty point for kind of a minor penalty. You get 2 penalty points for more major. If whatever you do is extremely egregious, it could be an EOL, which would be end of the line at the start, or more serious. Although I don't really think in some cases a from the pit start is more serious than an EOL. Because I think from the pit start you do miss a lot of the carnage that happens, but if you do EOL, you're on the track while the carnage happens. So EOL, I think in the hierarchy of penalties is less than the starting from the pits, but those are the different penalties. And you could actually get race suspensions and a whole bunch of other things go along if you continue to have moments with the stewards, so to speak. But I do really quick before we get out of here, want to look over. Here are the results from the last race. Of course, we were just talking about him. Mitch Welker was your winner last week at Imola. That's actually 2 weeks ago, sorry. But here are the point situation. Mitch Welker 105 over Nicholas Johnson 67. So it's been a one-man show right now in the battles for second. Christopher Hill, unfortunately, might push par here with Nicholas Johnson, with the way Nicholas Johnson started. But I think Johnson's going to be able to extend this point a little bit, because Hill's probably done with that suspension. Bruno Miranda 4th, Matthew Short 5th, Alvarez 6th, Seifert 7th, who was missing today's race, Sanders 8th, Rodrigo Munoz 9th, and Alex Van Asanten 10th. Here are the team points. Team Watson Racing 110, and they're going to suffer today. AAIR, excuse me, with Project 2, that is Welker's squad. They are going to receive more points today and extend their lead over FBR Motorsports and Team Question Mark, or Team Enigma. They're in P4, Backfire Motorsports, they're in P5. So that's a real quick look at the situation. Normally we show that in the pre-race, but we had to get off to a start here and had to jump into things. But we are in the closing stages here at Nürburgring. Thanks for joining us. This is RaceVerse
Alvarez
coverage.
is closing on Welker. The problem there with 5 laps to go is down to 3.7 seconds is the lead right now.
Yeah, he was faster by 3/10. Faster by 3/10 that time, but he needs to do more than 3/10 a lap. He needs to do more like a second a lap now, closer to that. But Hector Alvarez is doing a heck of a job trying to just power sliding through the corner there, trying to make up as much ground as he can.
Down the hill towards the hairpin. So Welker knows he has the win pretty much in hand right now. He's probably just taking it easy on his equipment and leaving it up to Alvarez to make the moves happen. Meanwhile, Gavin Sanders 10 seconds behind the race leader.
Caleb Bency on pit road for a final stop. I'm not sure why, but he all of a sudden has turned this into a 3-stopper. So he must have had something happen on the racetrack earlier that we missed that caused him to have to pit early or something. But he has now sacrificed a great deal of track position, rejoins in 9th, right behind Jose Correa, who is, again, up 14 spots, along with Liam Quinn. Liam Quinn deserves a shout-out. He's up 14 spots. Michael DeTurk, well, he is going to be our one-stop wonder for this race. He has worked his way up to P5. He's up 11 spots from his mid-pack start, and he's going to make the one-stop work here.
Amazingly done by Michael DeTurk. This is the sort of stuff we were expecting from Christopher Hill, who sadly has retired from the race. This is what we were, the sort of stuff we were expecting to see performance-wise here. Started 16th up to 5th, and a lot of it has been on fuel strategy. Well done for Michael DeTurk tonight.
All right, so we got in chat from Welker's spotter. Says that was netcode. So, yep, and netcode is our curse here in the IndyCar series. So yeah, that's that's a netcode. We hope Hill goes back, takes a look at that. We'll go back and take a look at it here, probably after the race. I know the stewards will, and if it's netcode, then I don't think there's anything to worry about there. I still think he was much faster though, and he could have picked any spot he wanted to pass. Yeah,
I personally do think that there were a lot of opportunities to make that one pass work, and obviously you have to be aggressive at the end of the race there. And netcode, of course, did play its terrible purpose there, but I can't help but imagine that. There could have been a lot of better opportunities to come.
Alvarez under 3 seconds now. Actually, Alvarez can see his target as his target now makes the turn off to turn 1 there. He's really closing the gap. That time by, Alvarez 0.3 faster. Again, he's been 0.3 faster. There he can really see his target now. 3 laps to go. We might have something here. We'll see.
Maybe so. And I think I saw Welker lock up a little bit going through the stadium. As Alvarez, a little bit of a slide there through the left-hander, down to the right, down the hill to the hairpin.
Push to pass situation. Welker with 6. Alvarez with 3. Gavin Sanders worked his way up to P3. We'll give him a look at here. Kind of all by himself at the moment. Just kind of can dictate his own race. Probably going to get a podium spot here. Been a good week for Gavin. He's in P3. Bruno Miranda, Bruno Fan Club, the Storm. He's in P4. Gonna look like he, unless he has some issue here in the next 3 laps, gonna get himself a top 5 finish. Give your man a shout out. There's Michael DeTurk, not too far away from Miranda. He's going to make the one-stopper work, it looks like.
And as they come to take 2 laps to go, Welker over the line. Last time by was a 38.2. Here comes Alvarez, 37.6. It's 2.2 seconds. I'm not sure if it'll be enough, but it's definitely enough to get himself right up on the rear of Welker on the final lap of this race.
He's got lap traffic right in front of him. I think that might be, is that Dakota? Yeah, that's Dakota Made.
Yep.
And Dakota is in, he's in P18. So he's lapped the field all the way up to P19, as a matter of fact.
Alvarez.
1.9, 1.8.
He's getting there. He's getting closer and closer and closer every time. Up through the Schumacher S's. Second to last time tonight. Can Alvarez get there in time? Ooh, big slide there.
Big slide.
You can tell he's going for it. You can really tell.
Alvarez on push to pass.
Perfect spot to do it. Through this fast left-right chicane. My favorite version of that chicane here at the Nürburgring. Off the final corner. White flag in the air. Welker just needs to hold on for 3 more miles, and it's win number 3. 1.7 seconds
Welker
the
on
margin
push to
right
pass.
He's got 6 of them. He may as well use it.
Yeah, might as well. Hector Alvarez is Winchester on push to pass. I mean, he is out. Alvarez 1.6, 1.5 through the braking zones.
Alvarez, I think, ran a bit wide there at the exit of the stadium.
1.3. Now he's working his way. Welker working his way around Dakota. Dakota gets out of the way. Dakota's probably going to do the same here for Alvarez. Dakota going to stay low and slow.
Hector looking for the line up to the Schumacher S's. I don't think it'll be enough at this stage. If Welker can hold on for a few more corners. Down the backstretch for the last time. It may not have been in the way that he would have wanted to get a win, but Mitch Welker puts in a dominating performance once more. Off the final corner for the last time, and Mitch Welker indeed makes it 3 for 3 in the Formula Indy Series at the Nürburgring. Alvarez, 1.2 seconds. That's what the gap came down to at the line. Gavin Sanders, meanwhile, off the final corner, he will take P3.
Mitch Welker, dry for dry, as the Germans will say. 3 for 3. Armando Edwards on pit road. Looks like he might have had to do a splash and dash there at the end to complete his last lap.
Wow.
But Mitch Welker there is on his cool down lap. So we will
Bruno Miranda, P4.
P4, good race for Bruno Miranda. And let's look at the Turk. The Turk, he made it work.
P5 for Michael de Turk after starting 16th and with 1 stop.
And he's
really saying that Hill strategy had potential.
Yeah, and it did, and he's pretty happy. Look at him. He's
hey, that's the spirit, Michael.
It looks like he has fuel left over. Look at this.
Yes, he does.
Nice tight donut.
Woohoo!
Don't interrupt the donuts.
Yeah, well done, everyone else. That's Jordan Erickson getting by him. He finishes 7th after starting 15th, and Liam Quinn finishes 6th after starting 20th.
Yeah, the finishers there. The Turk up 11, Quinn up 14, Korea up 13 to get into the top 10. So some great efforts here for a lot of these guys. There was a lot of chaos in that first lap, and some people took advantage of it, but other people really had to do that the hard way. So let's get a look at tonight's final standings. Let's go ahead and clear all the graphics here. And there you see Mitch Welker, 3 for 3. Hector Alvarez, he's 2 for 2. In his 2 starts, 2 podiums. Gavin Sanders, the inaugural champion here in the FIS Season 1 champion, finishes 3rd. to add to his podium numbers here in the league history. Bruno Miranda, 4th. And we were saying about Bruno, he always seems to get in some trouble today. Trouble-free for the Brazilian. Good on him. Michael de Turk made the one-stop work, and that's right, we made that rhyme. He is P5, and great on him, proving that the strategy Hill had a shot. Liam Quinn 6th, Ericsson 7th, Vinci 8th on a weird 3-stopper. We're going to talk to him about that, find out what happened there. Korea 7th, Ledesma 10th, and keep in mind, Ledesma, he was down and nearly getting outside of the top 20 back when he had that one wing angel drive of his in the first stint, where he was one wing on the front nose, and he managed to drive back to a top 10. Munoz, Short, Johnston, Groff, and Kiona is your top 15. Johnston had to start from the pits, even though he qualified 3rd, and that's really going to help him salvage a what could have been a worse points day for the man who is currently 2nd in points. Valenzuela, Edwards, DeMade, Ramirez, Ward, your top 20. Van de Sant, Alex, rough day, man. Finishes 21st. Tucker, Ball, Matt Houston, the boss man, 24th. Victor Aldrich, 25th. The man that everyone is going to kind of feel sorry for and just gutted for, Christopher Hill, was going to make that one-stop work, probably to a podium, maybe certainly a top 5. But unfortunately, incidents with the leader, netcode incident, put him with a broken suspension and relegate him with a DNF to 26th. Rivera, Delgado, Richter, and Gross, your top 30. Reardon, Miglin, Spath, Claiborne, and Flaum round out the remainder of this 35-car field. All right, so let's see who is in the interview room.
So I see all 3 of our podium finishers, and Michael de Turk is also in there as well.
Maybe if he's around, we'll bring him in and talk about that one stopper. But we'll go ahead and bring in Bernie, as they say, Gavin Bernie Sanders is his nickname in the Discord. Hey, Gavin, we got you here in the booth. A very quiet P3, but you were the first to bite on pit road. Did the early pit strategy pay off for you?
And
there you go. There you go. We hear
There
you.
you are.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Sorry, repeat the question there.
So you were one of the first. You were one of the first on pit road. Was the first on pit road strategy a good one that worked for you?
I think it worked out in the end, strictly because I got kind of, unfortunately, some contact from the rear in the first stint there. So my pitting early was more of a kind of diagnostic to see if the car was damaged or not. 'Cause when it started to fall off, I figured something was up. And then it turned out, then I had repairs at my second stop, and then in the third stint, it all just kind of, I think my car turned into a pretzel. So it was an interesting night. So that's kind of where my strategy sat, and I figured that alternate primary would be the way to go. But yeah, no, I think Hector did the opposite and Mitch did something else. So it ended up being an interesting race. I think I probably wouldn't be here considering if something didn't happen out there. But yeah, can't complain. Can't complain. Good points and happy to make it to the finish this time.
Steven?
Yeah, overall, fantastic stuff there. And I will ask this: were you surprised that of course, Christopher Hill and Michael de Turk, they went for a one-stop strategy? Were you surprised when you saw that happen, or did you have a feeling that might be a thing someone would try?
I was interested to see how it worked out, strictly based on the fact that I was looking at it, but I thought the number was a little bit difficult to hit. And the amount of fuel that you needed to save, like we were looking at an 18 lap run, and I mean 4 laps here, it was hit or miss. And I think in hindsight, it would have been the strategy, or it would have been at least close, in terms of getting some track position, just saving time and getting the track position up from somewhere other than pace. I think that it was a really smart call, and it might have worked for sure. I think it was going to be a good fight there. Mitch is obviously wildly quick, but it would have been interesting to see where everybody had ended up.
Tomorrow, RAL, will we see you there?
Do we have a week off?
Is it the week off? I can't remember.
I think it's the week off.
Oh wow! So now we need to see you in the IIS on Friday. Friday on the Chicago road course.
iRacing IndyCar. Oh.
Yeah, on the Chicago road course.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's a no. Okay.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not. So while we have you here, any shout outs anyone you want to say hi to before we let you go?
Big shout out to Team RaceVerse, Team Kamigoi, Sunset Arctic Games, everybody on this Team RaceVerse group, just getting the job done, and that's pretty much it. Just thankful for good teammates, good people, and for you guys for putting on a great broadcast.
Well, thanks for being here. Thanks for congratulations on the performance, and we will see you. Let's see at Spa.
Yes, sounds like a plan.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, that's Gavin Sanders, and yeah, that's right. Next week we have the off week. RAL is at Road Atlanta next Wednesday. That's Ryan, Eric King, and I will be there. Join us. Let's get Hector Alvarez in here. Hello, Hector. You're in the booth with Gary and Steven. Well, 2 races in a row on the podium. No win yet, but one's got to be close.
Yeah, a good night, first of all.
Yeah, great night for you and the team.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, what can I say? I kind of messed up my own race there. First stint, I wasn't really that focused. Pace wasn't too consistent. And then second stint, just that outlap. I mean, that spin, was nothing much I could do there. So I tried to recover.
Was that a result of that was an outlap? So was that possibly cold tires or just a momentary loss of focus or what?
I think it was the cold tires. I mean, the first sector and a half, it felt pretty good. Like I thought I had the grip, and then suddenly I kind of lost it on the first part of the Schumacher S's. I thought I caught it, and then it just snapped over a second time, and couldn't catch it.
Yeah, we need to, if you save the replay and go back and watch the race, and we'll have it on the broadcast here, you need to watch it from Gavin's perspective. He did a great job at missing you, otherwise both your days would have been done. But he killed a bunch of cones in the process, so there were some casualties. But I mean, luck was in everyone's eyes that right there, because that could have been a whole lot worse. But other than that, you got pretty close to Welker there toward the end. Was it you think that were you actually running him down, or you think he was just kind of pacing himself at the moment?
I'm not sure what, how he was doing his race after the spin. His first stint was pretty good. I mean, I tried my best to keep up, but he was actually pulling quite a gap. I think my strategy was good. I believe it could have won if I hadn't spun but I mean, I was pushing as hard as I can, but I mean, Mitch is just too fast.
Steven?
And kind of getting to that point, of course, this is 3 wins in a row for Mitch Welker, but you've always been up there the times we've seen you, of course, at Imola and here. Do you think that you could match him at some point in the coming races, and you think you could outfox the fox, as it were, at some point?
I guess with a bit or maybe a lot more practice, if I have a good race without any, being fully focused, no spins, no issues with anyone, and a good strategy, I think I can be up there with him. But like they say, it's easy to catch someone, but let's see if I can actually pass them.
Right, easier said than done, of course. Before we let you go, anyone you want to say hi to, shout out to while we have you on the broadcast?
Oh yeah, sure. Shout out to my team, TPRT. I mean, we've been doing a couple practices. Everyone's been putting on the time and thinking about strategies and all that. And I believe we improved from the previous race up to this one. So uh, hope we can keep on doing the same thing and eventually get a win.
Well, that opportunity might come in Spa next week, so we will see you then. Congratulations on another podium, and we'll see you next week, hopefully.
Thank you. Have a good night.
All right, and let's bring down the winner, Mitch Welker. Hey, Mitch, got you in the booth. 3 for 3. Not a bad start.
Yeah. 3 for 3, man, but definitely a hairy 3 for 3 in this case. So
well, the last one was kind of hairy too, but this one had its own a bit of hair. So go ahead and talk about running down Christopher Hill.
Well, he tried the one stop.
Yep.
And I was many seconds a lap faster than him.
Yes.
I've yet to see the replay with turn 1, but I think he kind of shoved me off a little bit, and I knew right there, like, okay, he's going to defend this really hard. He doesn't need to be doing this. Mm-hmm. I thought it was a little bit excessive for the position he was in the race. Like, I don't expect him to, keel over for me or anything, but that I felt his defending was just a little bit excessive, and he could have saved both of us time if he didn't fight the way he did. A little bit aggressive, and going into 6th there, I held to the right side and he defended left, and I thought the lane would stay there, and it closed up before I could anticipate his braking, and unfortunately it ended up with him off the track. And of course I'd never intend to do anything like that. It's a shame that it happened. I don't like to win that way, but not a lot I could do in that situation.
Yeah, and your spotter popped in the chat and said that there was some net code involved there. So
there was a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds to me that you probably, if you didn't pass him there, you probably had him on the next set of corners, or at least certainly in the next passing zone, because that's how we figured. We probably figured that you would pick and choose where you could pass them and get him at the next opportunity. But beyond that, I mean, it was a pretty, I don't want to say standard race, because we've seen you 3 for 3 now, and you just kind of jump out to these leads, get to the big lead, hit the pit stop, come out, cycle through, back up to the front. Now, last week was a bit of a difference where you got the Punterino and you fought back from this one, but this one, not so much. I mean, you were kind of always in control. I mean, even in the part where Hill was in the lead, you were much faster than him, and I would say that you probably had control, even though he was the leader at the time. There wasn't much other excitement for you other than just that one bit of trying to run Hill down on the one stopper and not letting him get too far away when you did make your second and final stop.
Yeah, kind of how I like it. Not a lot to deal with as far as contention goes. No, Hector and Gavin gave me a good fight, and for sure I had to stay on my A game and work with Mike on making sure we stayed on top of the strategy. It wasn't any aggressive strategy. Basically ran what we did at Imola, considering how the tires behaved, and I think we maximized that, and it worked out well. So no complaints there.
So saying a boring race is a good race. Stephen, go ahead.
Yeah, and of course, Christopher Hill, of course, tried the one-stop strategy, as you said before. Did you ever consider that, like, pre-race as, like, a possible option, or did you think it was just two-stop, foot to the floor for this one?
I never even considered the possibility of a one-stop, just because trying to save 2.8 laps of fuel, that's like 11 liters worth over 20 laps is a lot to save, and that the delta just would not have worked out in any way. Like, you saw what happened to me coming up to Hill.
Yeah, he was definitely saving.
Yeah, the difference there is clear. So, yeah, never even considered it.
Next week, Spa. So, IndyCar is at Spa. I trust you've done an IndyCar race or two at Spa. Your take on driving these things in Belgium?
That's okay. Actually, in my league, VMAX, we ran Spa once, and it was okay. I'd prefer to run it in a Formula 1 car personally, but
right.
Yeah. But it's not too bad of a combo. I know the rear end likes to get a little spicy in the end of the red stints, so we'll keep an eye on that. But I'm not feeling any different than any other race this year. Just approaching it the same way. Maximize the race prep to make sure we know all we can and go into it with the same intention to win.
Shout outs, anyone want to say hi to before we let you go?
Yeah, I figured now that I keep getting these, I should do a sponsor readout. So
Hey.
thanks to Lazy Rocket Vinyl and Graphics for your vinyl and graphics needs, of course. Thanks to LW Haugen Roofing from the Upper Midwest, all your roofing needs there. Thank you to Open Medicine Foundation, who have partnered with. They're driving research of chronic fatigue syndrome, post-treatment Lyme disease, from fibromyalgia, and long COVID. My teammate Doug hasn't been here at all because he is a sufferer of chronic fatigue syndrome, and he's hoping that OMF can help him with it, with this treatment sometimes. So, hoping they can help him out and help him get on track. I think that's about it. Thanks to Mike again for being on the box. Always a great help. Always the calm, level head I need.
Well, he was helping us out in chat, so good for him to be there. We appreciate the additional insight. Congratulations to you and your team and all your teammates there. We will see you in a week at Spa. In the meantime, enjoy the victory.
Thanks much. See you there.
All right. Now we'll go ahead and bring down Michael the Turk. He finished top 5 here. We don't do this an awful lot, but I will say that anyone who got that one stop to work is worth talking to, because that was a heck of a strategy. So bring him on down here.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael, you got you in the booth. We normally not going to bring you down, but for the fact of the one stopper, and you made it work, and it looks like Christopher Hill was going to make it work too, unfortunately, because of the incident. He didn't finish. You did, on the other hand, and had enough at the end to do some donuts. How much did you have left in the tank?
Just over a lap.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, I saved a little too much.
Wow.
Oh.
When did you decide that you were going to do the one stop then?
I had practiced it Sunday before the FIS practice, just because I felt like I was murdering the tires with the way the front end felt going into corners. I know everybody was pretty much locking up. So I thought, you know what, if I can make the tires last and I'm not going to lock up and I'm not going to lose too much time, I think this might be the way to go.
Was it just a lower engine mapping, or a lot of clutching and coasting, and short shifting?
I was on engine map 5, so other than the pace car setting, it was the least usage, and I was lift and coast into turn 1 into the hairpin at the back, coming up the hill after the S's, going into the final chicane. So you name it, I was lift and coasting.
Well, and even when you were lifting coasting early in your stint there, you were in a bit of a train that was kind of being held up by Ledesma, which was part. That's the video we're watching right now of Ledesma had a one wing incident where he lost one wing on his nose, and he was kind of holding you guys up, and you were keeping pace pretty good, and managed to even pull off that some passes in that area. So even when you were turned down the wick, you still were pretty fast. So you and Nürburgring must be a pretty good pairing in terms of your driving style and the way that this track is laid out.
This is the first time I've actually raced a GP track, so I felt pretty good about it.
Wow. You're natural then.
Let's not go that far, but it felt good.
Well, we just wanted to bring you up, and congratulations on the one stopper. You were the only one that did it. There were a couple people that came close, and Christopher Hill was probably going to join you, if not on the podium. He was going to join you in the top 5 there. Actually, by virtue of him falling out, possibly got you the top 5 there. Because right now, if he was still there, you would have been still slotted 6th. But still, I mean, where you were starting pretty deep in the lineup. To get out on a one stopper is a pretty epic strategy. I still notice no sponsors on the car yet. Are we going to get someone to sponsor here eventually?
I don't know. Not really a primary concern.
Okay.
Definitely just here to have fun and happy that the guys shot me a message and asked me to come over. So,
all right. Well, the plain white wrapper goes on the one stopper, or as I said, I didn't mean to make it rhyme, but it ended up working out. I had the Turk on the Turk with the one stopper in the program. I forget exactly what I said, but the Turk made it work. There we go. That's what I said.
Nice.
The Turk made the one stop work. So there you go. Congratulations, and still P5. Great day overall. So thanks for sticking around, and we'll see you at Spa.
yeah, thanks. Talk to you later.
Yeah. All right. So you told us all about Nürburgring. We learned all about Nürburgring with these cars. Now we go to Spa, and it's going to be interesting because now everyone's going to complain Spa has now been rescanned or has been redesigned, but it hasn't been rescanned. So we now have a slightly dated version of Spa that we're going to. I gotta imagine that a place that is iconic, and then that is a very iconic road course, and when people go there, you're pretty much on the power for most of the lap. That the times are going to be really, really close in these Zalars at Spa.
I would imagine so. Spa-Francorchamps, of course, one of the fastest tracks in Formula One. And you'll see a lot of high-speed running when the Indy cars go there. Eau Rouge and Radillon, of course, will be flat out going up the Kemmel Straight. I expect 3 wide action there. The braking going to the bus stop, turn 1. There's a lot of great places to make passes. And the way the track is driven, there is a reason that if I were to describe Spa-Francorchamps with one word, it would be this. Whee! I always have fun at Spa. It doesn't matter what it is. Spa-Francorchamps to me is one of those tracks that works with anything, and I think and if this race here, the Nürburgring was any indicator, we are going to be in for a great show in the Ardennes Forest of Belgium.
All right, well there you go. I'm looking forward to it. It's just an iconic track, and that little cafe at the top of Eau Rouge, that seems like some place that I would like to sit someday, although I think they've moved it and redesigned it now. But yeah, it's all the fun things in life just go away. But it kind of reminds me, sitting there would be like sitting in the turn 2 suites at the Indianapolis Motor Speed, where you can like look down into the car and actually see the hands moving as they try to keep the car straight under 100% throttle coming up through that hill and the little kink in the road there that they call a turn. But that's next week. I want everyone to join us. There you are. There's the top 15 there on your screen for tonight. It's a great race. Real quick, Mad Mike, if you do want to join the server, I don't see any reason why you can't. So go ahead and you can join the RaceVerse, or the FIS server, and you can talk in there as well. But that's it. There you go. Let's get on out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it for tonight. Once again, your podium for the Midwest Kidney Warriors German Grand Prix is Mitch Welker, 3 for 3. Hector Alvarez, well, he's 2 for 2, but 2 podiums. He's going to want that win next week. And Gavin Sanders, the Season 1 champion, coming through with yet another podium here for his series stats to add on, pad those up. Join Steven and myself next week as the series moves to the Spa for round 4 of Season 2 of 22 of RaceVerse Formula Indy Series. Start time is about 9 p.m. Eastern. Ring the bell. Mark your calendars now. That's next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube at youtube.com/RaceVerse. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy, so please help support RaceVerse with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of tonight's race. And if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like the video. If you're new, click subscribe. And while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so you don't miss out on more of RaceVerse's iRacing programs. Best way to help us out, is that thumbs up. And the other best way to help us out is click subscribe and the bell. Keep your browsers set here for the most in-depth IndyCar knowledge on all of iRacing. RaceVerse, we are your IndyCar experts. German Grand Prix sponsorship is paid for by Midwest Kidney Warriors. Midwest Kidney Warriors is your 501c3 nonprofit organization that advocates life for those battling kidney disease. They have several kidney warriors needing a life-saving transplant and many who require a living donor. For more information, please visit their website at MidwestKidneyWarriors.com or stop by their group page on Facebook today. For business inquiries and to learn more about RaceVerse and what we do, visit RaceVerse.com or follow all of us on Twitter. Here are all of our Twitter handles, our profiles. There's RaceVerse, there's me, there's Steven, Addis. So for Steven Larkamp, everyone at RaceVerse, I'm Gary Gossel saying all. Thanks for watching. To all the men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us next week from Spa for the next race of the RaceVerse Formula Indy Series. Good night.
Auf Wiedersehen.